Welcome to a new Crown Council Mentor of the Month podcast. This is Stuart Anderson. I had a great interview with Dental Innovations' Michael Borner. That interview is coming up shortly. This is just a short introduction to what Michael does and recap just a few things before we move on. Michael's part of the Dental Innovations Group, which is a video texting company. So everything that revolves around this podcast is revolving around video text, how you can communicate with patients through cell phone, and some new technology that his company has created to communicate with patients better through text. So stay tuned for him. We spend about 20 or 30 minutes together. Crown Council team's putting together our Smiles for Life boxes. We're super excited about the new design, everything that's going along new for 2018 that My Social Practice has created for us. The boxes are going to be very recognizable when they arrive. We've got a new fun green color for 2018. Sample t-shirts, buttons. There's some sunglasses for the new social media campaign that's inside the box. So those are coming shortly. If you're not signed up for Smiles for Life, there's plenty of time to sign up. We'd love to have every Crown Council office participate. So call the office here and we'll sign you up. Next week, the last week of January here, we're going to be headed off to San Antonio for the Crown Council's annual event, 23rd annual event in San Antonio. So we're excited to gather with about 1,000 Crown Council members there. It's one of the largest annual events we've ever had. We're super excited. We have a huge lineup of presenters and speakers this year, which will be a lot of fun. Steve Anderson is going to be spending some time relating each of these speakers to the dental world after they finish presenting. Kind of a new twist. We're going to start something new this year where once the speaker finished, Steve will get up and he has prepared content that will now relate what they're going to talk about to the dental practice with some real solid take-homes from the presentation. So I'm really looking forward to that, as well as our team bike build that we're going to do on Thursday, where we're going to build hundreds of bikes for some kids that are in need of bikes as a team project. So anyway, follow us along. We're going to have some more fun things about that. That's it for me for this introduction. I hope you enjoy the podcast and Mentor of the Month with Michael Borner and Dental Innovations. Thanks. Welcome to the Crown Council Mentor of the Month. I'm Stuart Anderson. I'm here with new resource member Dental Innovations and Michael Borner. I met Michael through Dr. Lon McCrae a lot of the same ways that we meet all of our resource partners, which is a great doctor in the Crown Council is using a product or service and then says, go and check this out. Everyone needs to know about dental innovations. So from Dr. McCrae, Dr. Hornbrook, David Hornbrook, gave me the exact same message, and I met with Michael and his partner Brian in our office, 2 months ago about? And
yeah, about that.
And then from there, I've used the product. Everyone in the Crown Council, including Greg, has participated in what Dental Innovations does. Michael brings years of experience from the medical and technology world into this new product that he's going to spend 20 or 30 minutes talking about, as well as sharing the solution behind what Dental Innovations does, which is what this Mentor of the Month is all about. So, Michael, we're grateful to have you. There's so many Crown Council doctors who are already involved with you. Dr. Charlie Cooper, Deborah King, Chris Hammond, Utah Valley Dental Lab, David Hornbrook, Lon McCrae. So we've got some pretty heavy hitters who are already signed up and using your product, as well as on the board of the company creating content for you. So we're excited to have you introduce the product and share what you are. So,
well, thank you, Stuart. Great to be with you guys. And I'll tell you, when some of the doctors told us about Crown Council the very first time, we were like, Crown Council? Well, I wonder what that is. And so having opportunity to meet with you and Greg and Spencer and be able to see the heart of what you do has really been fun for us, because working with organizations that you truly want to serve, a lot of people say that, but you guys really have that spirit, and the doctors that we're honored to work with are really excited to be able to work with you. So are we. And if we find a way to be able to add value and be in a community of people that are truly about innovating, that's a whole lot of fun to do together.
It is. And that is, I mean, you've just described the essence of what the Crown Council is.
Yeah.
So in one sentence, will you just describe Dental Innovations and the video text product that you've created? Can you just
Sure. Well, our primary goal, we're using technology, we're using mobile, we're using video, but our primary goal is essentially, you can sum it up in one word. We want to help the dentist rapidly create more trust. And trust is really, I think, the key issue here, because what a dentist knows and what the patient knows is quite a gap. And I'll tell you, that gap is a lot farther than most of the consumers have any clue of. The difference between Dr. David Hornbrook and just someone out of school is layers of knowledge. And so the ability for that dentist to be able to transfer what they know quickly is really important when it comes to case acceptance, when it comes to operational efficiencies. And so what we've done is taken a long history of content, media production, and technology and focused it now in the dental community. And we launched a year ago, December, by creating a whole new content map for dentists to use alongside their patients in the dental practice. And we'll get in and show how it works. But our primary goal is really to help a dentist more effectively create a relationship with their patient that helps case acceptance work much more effectively and efficiently.
Very good. And in years past, a lot of what you were doing is done through email. And when you came and talked to me about it, one of the things I've used ever since you left was the idea of friction in communicating with patients. So many things cause friction in between the doctor trying to talk to a patient or communicate with the patient. So why is your product, which is a video text, so it's a video that's being texted to a patient, why is it this mobile device? Why do you feel that this is changing or better than just emailing a patient?
Sure. Well, there's been a huge mass consumer behavioral shift over the last several years, and we've got a number of new ways and methods of doing things that we've done for many years, communicating, email, etc. But when it comes to the things that have a lot of noise connected to them, how many emails will we ignore today?
Right.
How many social media feeds will just keep going by? But there's something about the text box that's still kind of quiet. It's the place where it's inbox zero still. And there's very little clutter in the inbox on text. And so a handful of years ago, we've got a deep background in storytelling and creating content and story arcs. And we began to realize, wait a minute, what if we connected the simplicity of sending a text to a story that's connected to something they need? And the real issue is being able to deliver that at what we call the height of interest and time of need. And so we can kind of get into this all. I can pull up my screen and walk through it. But the major idea is being able to make it fast and simple and getting rid of the barriers that are often associated with transferring knowledge. Because those knowledge gaps, they cost money, they cost patient health, and they also cost a lot of operational efficiencies because the doc only has so much time. The hygiene team, the front office, they only got so much time to deal with these wonderful people that are coming through. So how do we make it go faster without losing anything? And so if you want me to share the screen, we'll give some idea of what that looks like. And we can show you a little picture of that. So the first and probably most important piece is the ability to remember, so we'll pull this up, just how many behavioral shifts we've had. And let me pull this over here. If you think about, in the music industry or film and television, we keep changing mediums. Remember these? Go all the way back. Well, what's next? What's coming next? For example, after Netflix, how do we deliver video more effectively? And one of the big questions we often ask people is, what about attention spans? There's a lot of research being done about attention. What would you say, Stuart? Is attention spans longer or shorter?
It's just definitely shorter.
Most people laugh about that, and I would agree they're shorter. However, there's an example, really quick story here, where I believe that the attention span, and this is in the dental office, is important, I believe is longer right now in a certain context than it's ever been in history, which kind of makes people scratch their head. What are you talking about? Well, again, attention is sustained concentration. Can prove it with two words: binge watching. When people binge watch, that's attention, right? I mean, this is a catatonic-like state. And so when you've got someone in that state, you've got a huge amount of behavioral change. The reason I think this is important is because it's a shift in behavior. And frankly, if it was all about information, the internet should have fixed everything. It's about moving the heart, which moves behavior. And so when you think about what Netflix has done, when an episode stops, it used to be 15 seconds. and the next one would start.
Skip intro, man.
It's 3 seconds now. It goes to the next one. So there's 3 core things to learn from this that we realize. Number one is using the arresting power of story, right? It can't just be any story. It has to be an arresting story. Secondly, and this is key, introducing automation. Well, automation allows us to be able to go, oh, the next one's playing. Okay, I'll keep watching and keep watching. Well, that connects to the third, which is the elimination of friction, which is what you were touching on earlier. Why is this important? Well, think about this. We used to have VHSs or DVDs. They weren't particularly hard to switch, right? DVD is not something you have to sweat when you do this. But that simple little stopping cue of changing the DVD stopped behavior. We now have eliminated that friction, and watch what happened to behavior. It changed immensely. And so what you have is the ability to realize, I think this is really key, even the smallest amount of friction, like having to go find or look up a password or go find an app or register for it. These are friction points that cause people to stop forward momentum in leaning into learning. And so what we found is if you build these into your user experience, which is what we've done, it creates a whole new world. And so the reason we love mobile, everyone uses their phone. For the first time in history, almost everyone has one of these in their pocket, in their purse. And that allows them to be able to communicate. Well, text has a 99% read rate and 93% respond within 90 seconds. This is an immense new behavior. And so what we did is figured out a way to put storytelling in the hands of the dental office to be able to allow a patient to immediately and rapidly connect with content that will explain the big picture, make it portable, and make it easy to understand. And most importantly, we've made the dentist the hero because we didn't put the Dental Innovations brand on any of this. So we'll kind of show you, in my past dozen years, we've been working with beautiful and amazing corporations that have an extremely high desire to engage with their constituencies. These are very large companies, have a lot of clients, but we developed, at a company I had the honor of founding back in 2012, a new method where we blend 3 things together. We put trusted expertise with targeted data, and not just video, because people love video, but you know what they don't like? Long videos unless it's entertainment. And so when it comes to content that's about educational components, they want it to be short. Challenge is you can't explain a complex dental implant procedure, for example, in 60 seconds. But you know what you can do? Deliver videos in what we call a sequence or an arc of engagement. That allows us to be able to explain a story in nice bite-sized pieces. And the other key piece is, instead of a pull strategy, come to our website, come to our app. We flipped it around in reverse polarity, and we deliver content right to that person without any registration, any app, any email address, any passwords, and make it available instantly with a text.
Yeah,
and the key is it's right at the height of interest and time of need.
And I've tried.
So
I've tried it. I mean, I received all the sample videos that you're showing from Dr. McRae's office. It arrives as a text. You push one thing and the video plays. It really is frictionless. I love that word.
It really is.
Delivering content.
So let's go ahead and try it. So in our past work, we've spent years building content for great clients like Johnson & Johnson. We shot Coach K walking you through the whole hip replacement surgery process. So we shot all the video, put it in the technology, delivered in their brand so it looked like they made it. And it allows the person about to go through that process to have a really beautiful picture of precisely what's going to occur in a very sincere, very powerful way. And numbers of things in hospitals, as well as hepatitis C and other complex technologies. And then what we do is we build what we call a story arc, a story map that walks that person through exactly what they need to know based on who they are. So it also gives incredible analytics. So let's show you exactly what it looks like. So let's say you're in Dr. Hornbrook's office, and he wanted to give you a understanding. He tells you, hey, you need an extraction, you need an implant, and let me walk you through what that means. The best person to educate is the dental team. They don't have the time, though, to be able to go home to tell your spouse, right? Or to be able to deal with the hallway amnesia that often people deal with. So he says, hey, Stuart, here's what I'd like you to do right here in the chair. I'd like you to simply send yourself a text. And everyone knows how to do a text, so they open up a new text. And for those watching the webinar right now, I would encourage you just to take your phone and do this with us. So open up a brand new text, and in the to line, put Hornbrook, DI. Pardon me. In the to line, put 33733. That's the to number. And then in the message, put Hornbrook DI. So 33733. and then in the message itself, put Hornbrook DI. And when you do that, what this allows the person to be able to see is an instant greeting specifically from that doctor. You got it right there.
Got it.
And one of the things I love about this is, first of all, they are texting their own doctor's name, right? This is someone they trust. And so this allows them to be able to start that way. And then when they do that, what you just showed on your phone, it gives you a specific greeting saying, you want to read it there, Stuart, what it says on the text?
It says DI, which stands for dental implants.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how dental implants can transform your smile with these short videos provided by Dr. Hornbrook. And then you click on the link.
Correct.
Right to a page.
Correct.
Branded with Dr. Hornbrook's face, his address. You know, it doesn't say anything about dental innovations. This is all.
That's right. Yeah, even the URL at the top, we've made it so it's the dentist itself. And so this allows us to be able to show exactly within 3 90-second videos precisely what that person, here's the key, they have a height of interest now. This is the time of need. To be frank, 30 seconds before they were diagnosed with whatever this particular diagnosis is, they don't care. They're not interested in this. But as soon as I tell you, hey, this is what you need, now I'm interested. The key now is, how do I get that information in your hand? Well, there's a lot of very other nice ways to do that. You can bring in an iPad, bring in a video screen, queue up a DVD. The problem is each of those are friction points, let alone cross-contamination issues. And so virtually every person has one of these in their lap during the procedures, right? So they can use their own phone, they text it, it summons it, and it looks like the dentist invented it. And then at the very bottom, there are links that are specific to what that patient can do. One tap, they can call. One tap, they can email the office. One tap, this is a big one, this is Dr. McRae's favorite, is one tap and they can actually post a review. And so there's a post a review link, they tap it, and it goes right to the place where they can leave a 5-star review, just like that. So it goes right there. So this is the simplicity of dealing with text-initiated content. But you have to have a whole map of the way to be able to put this together. And so that's the main concept. There's a number of ways we can utilize this. But let me just mention, as we've worked with our dental owners and the people who have been involved with building this, because we really wanted this to be built by dentists for dentists, not just from the content accuracy, but operational integration. And so these are the 8 different things that we've found that this does real quickly. First is makes them look very innovative and differentiated. Secondly, case acceptance. Being able to help that person rapidly understand what's needed so they will agree with the dentist diagnosis and move forward with treatment. Time savings and operational efficiency, big component there. And this is an interesting one, consistency of messaging. Everyone's saying the same thing. And this content actually comes also on a fully printed guide that comes with the subscription for the dentist. Everything is completely wrapped in their brand, etc. And so that has the ability to also be integrated. So that same link can actually be put right into their Solution Reach system or whoever they use for text reminders. So it goes out a week or 2 days before an appointment. It's got the video link in there saying, the doctor would like you to watch the video correlating with your procedure. They can watch it before they even come in. And of course, reviews and commenting for Google reviews. You can use these links in social media, email, lead gen. And of course, the ability to increase exposure when a person is looking at the menu and they're looking at, oh, what happens when they do an extraction or a crown? Oh, I didn't know they do whitening. Or, oh, they deal with teeth grinding. There's a lot of other nice cross-promotion scenarios. So this is what we've created. And the very first library is the top 10 procedures that most dentists use. We'll continue to add to this library on a regular basis. And that allows us to continue to make more and more content available for the patients and for the doctors.
And this is all custom content that you've created?
Custom content. We have a deep background, 27 years in producing high-end content, beautiful animations made from scratch. The key is we have our whole editorial design team, which are dentists and their front office staff and their hygienist staff, working through the entire script-to-screen approval process. So it is beautifully designed specifically with their input.
And I've watched all the videos. Could you run through some of the topics that are discussed in that top 30?
Yeah, you bet. They are fillings, teeth cleanings, extractions, root canals, teeth grinding, dental implants, dental veneers, dental crowns, dentures, and teeth whitening.
I love it.
So we'll be working on adding, we're really excited about this, and also working with Dr. Tommy Neighbors around a whole design around periodontal disease, dry mouth, insurance, other issues that have that are pertaining to anything that can help that dental office be more effective. We'll continue to add more and more content by listening to what they need.
Very good. I remember too, you've talked about content for post-procedure follow-up too. So
yeah. So let's mention that. And just by the way, when we put this together, we build all this for the dental practice. We go in, there's 10 topics, and each topic is 3 videos. So nice and short. So we put all of those with the dentist's wrap around it on the digital side, and then also on the printing side. And we go through and go reserve the text code specifically to their name, and the whole content menu is printed, then all the analytics they receive as well. But also in the integration, the ability to actually send that link into their integration for the text reminders, and this allows them to be able to see that on their phone in this way, which is very nice. And we're also working on ways to be able to put this into a trigger, so being able to look at reactivation, considering unscheduled treatment. There's a number of things on the roadmap that we're quite excited about being able to deal with. But I want to make a pretty big announcement on this one here that you're aware of, and that is, as we started working with these doctors, we began to find and identify that there are a few categories that really deserve their own library that can go deep. And so the ability to actually go in and build a library for cosmetic and dental implants together that have what we call a drip-based story arc. So this is kind of interesting. So let's say Dr. McCrae diagnoses you, let's say Stu, with a need for an extraction and an implant. And he tells you, okay, you need to, so we have 1 video or 3 videos that deal with this, but this is in a much bigger and more depth perspective here. So you send the text, but this time it asks you to click the letter Y to opt in. It's coming from your doctor. Well, when you opt in, this is now going to drip you a 90-second video once a day for the next 5 or 7 days, whatever it is we end up designing with the doctor and the editorial team. Well, this allows us to be able to have a person who usually can't make a decision on a 2 to 5,000 or larger case right there in the chair. Well, now we can work to be able to tell them the story about bone resorption, about what actually happens in the dental implant procedure, how long it takes, will it hurt, how does it work, and all of the different benefits of going through this process that now they can also share with their spouse. We're even thinking about having a spouse track for the spouse to go through.
Nice.
And every one of those episodes connects back to the dentist's office so they can actually decide to go ahead and move forward with treatment. So for the first time, you'll have a perfectly designed story arc where you can have the time to walk through this beautiful and amazing process that oftentimes they just can't remember when they're leaning back in the chair. So that's post-diagnosis, but pre-purchase. And then on the procedure, post-procedure, you go in, they do the first appointment. Well, when they leave the chair, they have the ability to have the patient send a different text. They opt in with the letter Y, and this is great. No app, no passwords, no email addresses, nothing, just a text. And then it begins to drip the content to them about, okay, hey, it's day 3. We know exactly what day it is. It's day 3. This is what the wound should feel like and look like. If it doesn't, click here, call us, or look at these opportunities to be able to understand it better. It's week 1, it's week 2, it's day 15, whatever it may be. So we'll be building a post-operative arc that allows us to be able to walk them through the process. Something else the doctors are very excited about is the ability to put a single tap link right below the videos that say consent. And so when they tap the consent link, the technology fills out the email address from and to, puts a paragraph of consent language right built into the videos. They simply hit send. That's all they have to do. And now that email can go right to the doctor's office, go right into their CRM system. And now you've got written, time-stamped video education connection to prove someone has not only consented, but been educated. We think that could be a huge benefit when it comes to downside risk mitigation for any kind of lawsuits in the future to protect the practice.
Very cool, Michael. And Crown Counsel just so you guys know where we stand behind video text and the movement in that industry. Crown Counsel has asked Dental Innovations to also create
a Crown Council education text portal. So this is a way for new team members to be introduced to Crown Council. It's a way for Crown Council members to receive engagement with our skills videos, engagement with culture building products, everything that will just be texted right to your phone. I mean,
yes. Should we show them?
Yeah, let's show if you've got some screenshots.
Yeah, let's do that. In fact, we haven't shown them. In fact, just so you know, this is the team that we're continuing to add to it, but we're really excited to announce for the first time today, the team that's the editorial content and design team behind the whole cosmetic and dental implant library. We'll be announcing some more at Crown Council. They're also coming on board, but these 7, which are phenomenal people, Dr. Cooper, Dr. Hammond, Dr. Hornbrook, Dr. King, Dr. McCrae, Dr. Neighbors. And also, we're very excited to have JD and the team there at Utah Valley Dental Lab as a part of this whole process. So these minds, as well as a few others, will be the ones building and creating the content with us so that it's designed from the leading experts as we have this subscribed around the country. So also wanted to say, I believe all of them are Crown Council members, which wasn't intentional.
Not planned.
But I'll tell you, the other thing is spending time with all of these great folks. They all have one amazing thing in common. They're experts, but they're very humble, gracious people. It's really excited about it. But what you're talking about there, Stuart, we're really excited about doing. And when we first saw Steve's content with the Crown Skills, I was very impressed by the quality of the content as well as the very high level of applicability. But you've got to often go find it. It comes in an email. Sometimes we miss emails. And so again, if you're on the webinar, try this. Grab your phone. You're going to love this. You'll be the first ones in all of the Crown Kingdom to see it. And so if you take your phone, open up that 33733, put that in the top in the 2 line, and then put in Crown Skills in the text line. So Crown Skills, and hit send. And what you will see is, thank you for your interest in Crown Council. To opt in to our video series, reply with a Y or yes. So you put the Y there. And then it says, so that we can address you personally, please respond with your first name. So we can make it personal. And put your name in there. And then it says, thank you, your very first video will arrive shortly. And that video pops up. And as you can see there, that link, enjoy the short video from Crown Council Skills. And when they bring that up, this is a fully branded Crown Council experience. Episode 1, and the video that's there, you just hit tap. That's all you had to do is send a text and opt in. But here's what's exciting. As you watch these videos from Steve, which are exceptional, it will now automatically drip them to you at a regular interval. So we're working with Stu and Greg and the team there, Spencer, to figure this out, along with Steve's input on what the right interval will be. We actually gave this to Dr. McCrae. We showed it to him before anybody else saw it, and he's like, I'm loving watching these again. I'm kind of watching them like I'm supposed to because it's automatically coming to my phone. And they're short, and now it allows you to be able to also single tap links at the bottom. But the most important piece is we've removed the friction and made it easy to take in this excellent content that's been designed to be able to really help offices perform more effectively. And I'm really thrilled that the dentist can give out this text code to his whole team so they can also watch them together on a regular basis.
Yes. And I know Michael and his team will be at the annual event coming up shortly in San Antonio, where they're participating in our Lunch and Learn program. They're going to be having a booth so you can talk to them. But beyond that, Michael, next steps for Crown Council members, how would they engage farther, cost to get started, or what steps would be the next for a doctor who's interested?
Sure. Well, you know, we really designed the whole experience to be something that is simple, that doesn't involve contracts. We wanted to make it a subscription-based solution so they could say, hey, this is what I need for my practice to keep me with a mobile technology and a mobile strategy. We also came up with a new innovation. In fact, I have to thank Dr. Hornbrook. We were at dinner one night, and he was talking about getting Google reviews and making that easier. And we realized, wait a minute, what if we just simply created a text code so you can text the name of the practice with the letter R for Google review. And so they do that, and that takes them right to the link that goes to the 5 stars. Send the text, here's a link. And then they can also create a sign that goes up on their counter, etc. And so we decided to create a whole solution of products and solutions that would allow a dentist office to utilize it. So we've created 10 different videos that will keep growing, all the custom keywords, as well as the Google review text code. We wanted to make it a subscription-based product with no contract. So it's $247 a month, and that's it, month to month. And it's even got a 60-day money-back guarantee. And then the $495 setup fee is actually to pay for 200 custom printed color 2-sided brochures that we hand make and hand create and then mail them. And we also create and send this whole piece as well, along with all the digital assets that are completely wrapped and branded. And so we also give a separate set of codes that can go into the text reminder systems for the patient reminders that can have double tracking on the analytics. So that's it. It's very simple solution and setup. And then as we add more of the content with this group that you saw earlier, those who are involved in doing things in implant and cosmetics, that will be a separate subscription base because it's a much bigger library. But again, very affordable and designed to have a huge return on investment. And I guess really the core is how do we help them be innovative, create more customer loyalty, and sell more core dentistry more efficiently. So that's really the whole design.
And that is what drew us. We don't pick our resource partners lightly. It's not like there's a great product to sell. It really is those items that drew us to this, being innovative, connecting with patients better communication. I loved on that when we were talking that a team member, that the message stays consistent because the whole team is using the same message over and over again. So,
yes. Yeah. Some of our dentists have said, I kind of cringe when I hear some of my staff talk about what we do. Like, that's not how we do it. This makes it a little bit more consistent that way.
Michael, where website, is that the best place to direct a person to connect with you?
Sure. Yeah. DentalInnovationsinc.com. So DentalInnovationsinc.com. I think we've got that's our website there. And that has a nice kind of explainer video overview. It's got some docs you may recognize and shows you how it works and what's there. And if they want to subscribe, they can click on the subscribe button and be first in line to have these built. We just launched. We're also honored to win Product of the Year at the AWD Dental Conference. And so that was nice. I just sent out a national press release last month about this. So our hope is to be able to continue to find ways to stay ahead of the curve, make content that's extremely patient-friendly, very emotionally engaging, and very much honors the dentist, and have the dentist stay in the driver's seat as we quarterback, the way that this works in the new mobile world.
Very good. Thank you, Michael. I'm sure there's more to come. So I appreciate you joining us on Mentor of the Month, and I'll see you next week in San Antonio.
Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate all the work you and the team do to pull all this together. It's a big event. We're excited to be there.
See you soon.
Thanks so much.